All right, go ahead.
Because I was going to ask you, how would you preserve a signature? Because on Saturday, I'm going to get this thing signed by Samoa Joe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna make him sign a WWE belt? What an asshole!
I mean,
he was once in WWE. Come on.
I mean, I guarantee he probably does it all the time, but and I have Samoa Joe's actual autograph on paper too, next to AJ Styles and Ric Flair and the fucking Motor City Machine Guns and the fucking Team 3D when they were all in TNA at the exact same time on one promotional card that they have, and it's in one of these folders in one of these boxes under my desk. But my advice to preserving a signature, especially on memorabilia, whatever you do, don't touch the signature once it's on there. Don't smudge it. Don't touch it. Don't let other people touch it. You do your best to avoid fingerprints and tips on it at all costs. Whenever you do anything with that title, do not leave the house with it afterwards.
Don't eat around it.
Don't eat around it. Like legitimately, and I'm being serious as a person who is an avid collector. Get some gloves, like neoprene latex gloves, whenever you want to clean it and touch it and dust it. Like feather dust it. Do not hand wipe it and clear off fingerprints. Don't ever do that. Just, I'm telling you, if you want to preserve it in the best possible way, especially that signature could be worth a fucking shit ton in 20 years on that title belt. Don't let other people handle your championship belt. Don't let
you won't be able to show it on the lives no more, Tommy.
No, you can show it. Don't let people touch it. Like if your friends come over and they go, "Oh, that's cool. Can I see that?" Yeah, with your eyes, motherfucker. Yeah, look. See it.
So we're going to be meeting Samoa Joe
at? He is going to be coming to town at a convention that I've gone to the last couple of years called the Midwest Twang Comic Fest. There's actually a few other big people coming in. That's actually where the Butcher is going to end up coming in as well. From AEW.
This would have been a perfect opportunity to have some fucking merch ready for shit like this, you know?
Yeah, go out there and peddle our shit.
No, or just wear it, you know, wear it around.
Hell, I mean, it would have been a perfect time to look Samoa Joe straight in the face. Would you like to be on one of the top professional wrestling podcasts in the country, by the way?
He's probably going to be like, yeah, I heard you guys.
Not left to the top 80 whatsoever.
He's probably like, yeah, I heard of you guys. You guys talk too much shit. Nah.
they're like, well, Samoa Joe, you know, just for shits and giggles. I mean, you're in AEW, right? And you know Chris Jericho, right? We were 2 away from clearing your boy. Mm-hmm. You want to come on and talk about it?
Yeah, dude. I can't wait to run into Mick Foley again so I can throw that in his face. No,
you know what's funny is there are so many wrestlers out there that, you know, depending on like if you can get them for appearances, some of them do require to be paid to do interviews. Some of them do require a charge. If they're with companies, sometimes the company will pay them to do your interview if you're a big enough podcast. And we're a pretty big show at this point. But there are plenty of professional wrestlers that are willing to do the shit just for the free promotion and free publicity. So, and come out and air their shit or vent. So it'd be nice if we could get some of these bigger names on here. We were really, you know, great to get Chris Steeler, who had worked with you know, NWA and AEW and on the independent scene, and we were able to, you know, get a lot of these guys. Dwayne Cashman, you know, rising star in the independent scene as well, and some of the guys. What's his name? What is his name? The guy who was a WWE extra who had worked background. Danny Storm, who had worked some background work for WWE earlier this year when, you know, Drew and Logan were feuding with Randy and Jelly Roll was literally one of the security guards that was in the ring when Jelly Roll got jumped by them in a practice ring on camera. You know, we've had some really great guests on the show, and we can only get bigger and better and greater guests. And that's nothing towards those guys. They're amazing. But, you know, the end goal for those who can hear me, for those who are professional wrestlers, for those who are maybe guys who listen to our podcast but don't say it, that are, you know, AEW guys, WWE guys, TNA guys, NWA, AAA, you know, ABC, EDFG, whatever. Like, you guys can totally hit us up on social media. If you guys have anything you'd like to promote, come on and talk to the crew here. You want to join us for, you know, 20 minutes, half an hour, talk about what's going on in your career, what your goals are, your hopes, maybe some pain points. Maybe you just got released, Andrade, and you want to come up here and tell us about it.
Yeah, we're bilingual too, so we can talk
so
to
you want to cuss out and call people pendejo in Spanish. Edgar's fluent. So if you guys are the sound of my voice and you are professional wrestlers, and you guys need a platform to promote yourself on the independent scene or whatever, please message us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, wherever you can get a hold of us. Message me, Mr. Blood. I'll get you in touch with Edgar. We can set something up for you guys. So for sure, please, we are looking for more professional wrestling guests.
Yeah, dude, I need to get better about that, dude. I just been so fucking busy, but we are currently, I think a couple days ago I checked, we were at like number 46 in, top pro wrestling podcasts in all the nation and all United States. So,
and there are thousands of people.
Yeah, so we have a pretty good reach. So yeah, definitely I got to start reaching out to some more people, some more known names. So yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, man, shit, now that WrestlePalooza is out of the way, we can start focusing on the future. It seems like a lot of people were over WrestlePalooza, and we saw Monday Night Raw tonight, and we're on the road to Crown Jewel again, which I'm not really excited about that whole 4 a.m. thing, the 4 a.m. start time for me, which I don't know if you guys saw, I posted some clips from the WrestlePalooza review where we talked about that. And the fans, we were getting some comments that were like,
telling us, we're so entitled or whatever, that one guy. And I'm like, he's like, some people just want to complain. Complain about what? We're professional wrestling content creators. If you think it's so easy, you do it. If you think you can produce as much as we produce every week, anywhere from 9 to 16 different forms of content on this platform and all of our other platforms, and then we're still family men. 2 of us are married. 1 of us is married with children. So you're expecting us to get up at just 4 a.m. like it's nothing and watch a 3.5 hour card on a Saturday morning like we don't have lives. You're an idiot.
Yeah,
that tells me that you are some 19-year-old troll on the internet who has no responsibilities whatsoever and doesn't know what the fuck it means to be a grown-ass adult.
Yeah, dude, and I'm just like, why is that like something so crazy that we're complaining about that the fucking start time is going to be at 4 a.m. for me? Other countries do it for us all the time. And I'm like, shit.
Fuck them. It's a U.S. product.
And most people don't really have to watch it live like we do, but
that's the thing too. He was trying to say, well, just watch the replay. I don't see why you're complaining about having to watch it live. Don't watch it live then. Well, we are a professional wrestling business. We are literally an advertised, marketed, podcast here, guys. It's not your mom and pop's fucking microphone in a basement here, guys. We produce extremely real numbers. This podcast makes money, folks. It's not like it's just we're hopping on TikTok and we're going, here's 30 seconds of my opinion. No, we're followed by wrestling legends like Chris Jericho, Tyrus, freaking Chris Jericho. Like we're a pretty big name here. And as far
Karrion Kross, Victoria.
Karrion Kross. And as far as it's concerned, guys, you need to understand, when you are a content creator, you create the content as it's produced. So we are a reactionary business. That means the moment shit happens, the best way for us to produce the most numbers is to have our finger on the trigger the moment it happens. Hence why some of our biggest numbers produced is reaction content. You don't believe me? Look on our Instagram. One of our reaction contents just from this past weekend did 2.6 million views. Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like, say that I don't wake up at the ass crack of dawn to watch this thing right live.
It's not even dawn at 4.
The first thing I'm gonna do when I wake up is check my phone, and guess what's the first thing that's gonna pop up?
Spoilers.
The results. Spoilers. And at that point, I'm like, well, fuck, I don't even want to watch it anymore. So it's all about watching it live too, when it's happening. But yeah, I was like, why couldn't they just meet us in the middle? Like, if their start time 7 p.m., they could have started at like 3 p.m. 2 p.m.
They could have started at noon. At least
Yeah,
it would have been around like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. the previous night for us. Shit. I'd rather start a PLE at 8 p.m. and it go to almost midnight than have
I
to
think
stay up or wake up at 4 or 7 a.m.
I think noon for them would be like also noon for us,
Well,
wouldn't it?
if you back set it, they're what a 7. It's like a because they're doing it at 7, right? So 7
Yeah,
p.m. for them is a 12-hour difference on my coast.
yeah,
Which is 7. So it'd be noon for them. I would rather watch the shit at noon to 3, even on a Saturday where it's like, bro, middle of the day. There's so much shit I could be doing right now. But I would
yeah,
rather that than 7 in the fucking morning, 4 in the morning for you on your coast. So
yeah,
it's just like, come on, guys, you gotta understand where we're coming from here. Where it's like, dude, aside from the fact that I was half an hour late to watching Raw tonight because I thought it was back to 8 p.m. So
yeah,
like, it's just like, come on, man. Like they keep switching all their times. It's hard to keep a schedule with this product recently. It really is. And when it comes down to it, a lot of people weren't happy with a lot of things with WrestlePalooza.
mm-hmm.
ESPN themselves, by the way, cheap plug. If you want to hear the actual ESPN thoughts on WrestlePalooza, a new Blood Drop episode is out on the podcast, Apple and Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. But as far as concerned, at least with WrestlePalooza, the shit started at a normal ass time.
Mm-hmm.
When they go to Perth, it will not be a normal time. When they go back on the whole European tour a month ago fucked us up for weeks. And then they're going back in January.
Yeah,
God, I shudder to think what time WrestleMania 43 will start for here in the States for us in 2 years. So, that's in Saudi Arabia.
oh yeah, I was like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about?
No,
Yeah, that's
WrestleMania
right.
43 is in Saudi Arabia, folks.
Yeah,
So I don't know about you. I'm not trying to watch a WrestleMania replay. That's the one pay-per-view I fucking absolutely need to see live.
It's like that is the one PLE that is like a must watch live thing, not just say, hey, I'll just watch it later. Like, no, watch it live. That's the biggest thing with
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
I mean, I made that mistake years ago when the worst thing about the WWE network, which was the only thing I hated about the network, because I fucking miss it now. $9.99 with Michael Cole screaming that shit into my ear every Monday night for a year. It seems like a lovely memory at this point. Was that I remember WrestleMania where Brock Lesnar broke the streak. I was unable to watch it live. I had to work overnight, or not overnight, but until 1 a.m. at the call center I worked at. I forgot to turn my notifications off. So when I went on my lunch break, which was like 11 o'clock at night, my fucking phone, as soon as I unlocked the lock screen, all the network had just shown me every result for every match right there before I even unlocked my phone. I was
mm-hmm.
so mad because I was like, when I get home at 1, I'm going to watch this whole show. I'm going to stay up all night. This is what I've needed to get through my whole fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler, 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 spoiler. And I
So
was like,
stupid.
bro.
And that was the
Yeah.
biggest thing that everyone was talking about, because that was the whole thing of, hey, look, this is a big deal. It was also one of his final matches.
That's the thing that
Well,
pissed me off is like I had the streak broken, spoiled for me. And I was like, it was bad enough I couldn't watch it live. To have my
yeah.
fucking cell phone tell me. Like I was like, man,
Well,
I don't even want to watch
I
this
think
shit.
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly from previous Crown Jewels and other events in Saudi Arabia, those usually start like around midday for me in my coast, which means like 2 or 3 p.m. on the East Coast, if I'm not mistaken.
If I'm lucky and it's noon for you, hopefully, fingers fucking crossed along with my toes, it'll be 3 o'clock for me.
Mhm.
And if it's 3 for me, I can handle that. It means the show, if they've run each evening 4 hours, it'll be done at 7 p.m., which is a very digestible time for it to end, especially since we're going to do reviewing right after it. I'm fine with that, although it's a 2-night event. So that does kind of blow that 2 days straight. I have got to empty out my entire fucking afternoon and early evening to make sure I don't miss fucking the start off.
Is it going to be a 2-night event?
It
Have they
fucking
said?
better be, because if they go back to an 8-hour goddamn show, I will riot.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey,
pretty
babe, I'm recording right now, babe. Let me call you back.
What show are we
Bye.
talking about?
WrestleMania 43
WrestleMania.
will be in Saudi Arabia in
Oh, yeah.
2027. So so I'm assuming they're keeping the 2-night platform. They kind of have to. The amount of
The
matches they're going to
2-night
put on.
platform that they've got us used to for years now.
But it also makes sense as far as concerned for them able to have a correctly paced pay-per-view, PLE. You need 2 nights because you're talking the average PLE card that Triple H likes to book is like 5 matches, 6 max. You're trying to squeeze all those title matches in on both brands, plus regular rivalries that have nothing to do with titles, and then the matches that are showcase matches, along with probably a ladder match or some kind of special guest appearance or a band that's going to play or this or that. Or you know how they take a break in the middle of the show to tell you the attendance record for fucking 10 minutes and they're going to drag out the Hall of Fame inductee class of that year for 10 minutes. Like, you need 2 nights.
Yes. So
need it.
also speaking of WrestleMania, did you guys see that the prices for WrestleMania in Vegas came out?
Yes, I will be actually covering that later tonight after we're done with the show. That is the next episode of the Blood Drop. I saw that earlier. I will be covering that entire pricing schedule or pricing list for the seats because it is not only outrageous, it might as well just be robbery at gunpoint. It's pretty. Just a sneak preview for those who are listening live. Sneak preview. The cheapest seats you can purchase are about $854 fucking dollars in the nosebleed.
Jesus.
Per person. The most expensive, $8,998 for row A.
So then I wonder what I guess you'll probably look into it more when you make that blood drop episode. But why were they talking about fucking 70,000 then if they're 8,000 for front row?
So 70,000 is going to include the WrestleMania package. So when you pay 70,000, that means they're going to pick you up and take you to the event every day. You're going to get autograph stuff. You're going to get to go backstage and meet people. You get to go in the ring, do your own entrance.
So it's like an entire ass experience.
Yeah,
because they were charging that earlier this year too. They had the same thing because people were like, "What the fuck you mean $40,000 for a WrestleMania seat?" Well, it's because it's like a whole it includes your hotel stay, I believe, and then the whole event. You get to meet and greet with the stars, and you get to get your own WrestleMania entrance in the ring, and they give you a piece of this and some of that, and you get so it's a huge whole thing. Not $40,000 worth to me, because I made a whole video on that earlier this year. I was like, for $40,000, Rhea Ripley better come out there and kick me in the balls and fucking give me a stink face. $40,000. CM Punk better let me take Larry home for a weekend. That dog better be sleeping on my bed next to my pit bull for at least 2 nights.
Alan Owens did a video on how much it is to just get the chair without going to WrestleMania. And that's still just as much as it is just to go to it.
Which is funny.
Shout out to Alan Owens. That fool, he always he used to join us when we were on TikTok live all the time. He would always jump on our lives. He's a cool dude.
Which is funny because the steel chairs that are commemorative steel chairs, for people who don't know, the first couple of rows have these specialized chairs made for the events, that the padding on the seat is basically the WrestleMania poster specialized on the actual customized steel chair seating. Because my brother got to take it home for WrestleMania in 2008 when we went to see the Shawn Michaels Ric Flair retirement match here in Orlando. And those chairs to this day are still at his grandma's house in his old bedroom. And the seat pricing then, I believe I told you, was like $400 a seat back in the day. But we were like 4 or 5 rows from the front. So, that chair was included with your ticket. If you were sitting in that seat and you paid for those tickets, you got to take the chair because the chair came with the fucking tickets. Now they charge this chair separate from the fucking tickets.
I got one of those. Someone gave it to me. I didn't go to the show or anything, but I got one.
Well, it's crazy.
Congratulations. You have an $800 chair.
Some of those chairs go for like $1,000 on eBay, and people will get those chairs during the fan access weekend. And if they're still able to get autographs the same night as Mania, they will literally, like, on night one, take those chairs, And then on night 2 during the day for the fan experience and the expo, when stars are still doing autographs and shit at the whole, experience, Fanatics Fest, they'll get them signed there. Like literally get them signed there, and they'll be on eBay within like 48 hours for like $1,500, $2,000. It's crazy.
Damn, if I would have known that, I would have taken more care of it. It's just sitting in my garage collecting dust. It's from like 2014 or 15 with Chris Jericho. I forgot which pay-per-view it was, but
you should have fucking drove that goddamn. You were at Mania this year in Fanatics Fest. You should have just taken that steel chair with you, been like, I need you to sign this.
Well, I mean, Chris Jericho wasn't there. I've met Chris Jericho a couple times, and I never crossed my mind to get that thing signed. It's just been sitting there.
First time I met him was 2008. So and when he was still IC champion. But it's like it's kind of crazy. Like you really, it's so weird because you don't realize that you have a moment in time that's passed where you had an opportunity for something. You're like, I am like, what are the odds that you were sitting so close at Mania 41 this year to fucking Gabriel Iglesias, enough to get a picture with him and everything? And it's like, bro, if I had like that fucking WrestleMania coffee cup I drank out of at home and brought it with me, like I gotta got Gabriel Iglesias to sign my fucking WrestleMania cup.
Yeah, and we freaking peed next to each other too in the bathroom.
Fantastic. I don't want to brag, but I was within 2 feet of Fluffy's member.
Yeah, I was just like, how's it hanging there, Fluffy? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
And he didn't wash his hands.
Nah, it was weird, dude. Some people were like asking him for pictures in the bathroom. And he's like, dude, are you serious? Like, I'm trying to do my business here. Wait until we go outside.
The man's got his Fluffy in his hand, and everybody's like, hey, when you're done, by the way, Fluffy, big fan, willing to shake it for you. If not, that's fine, but can you sign this?
I'm like, some people, I don't know if they're stupid or if they were just drunk or
no, people are obsessive, know, man. Autograph culture is so big. That's why people will like somehow pay someone in an airport to get these like wrestlers like flight schedules and bum rush them at the airport at 3 a.m. And it's like, you're not even really fans. You just want my autograph so you can sell shit on eBay because you're too lazy to get a real job. You know, like CM Punk said in the Pipe Bomb promo. You know, it's true. They do that. They're scalpers. They're people who like will literally put like little kids up to it who don't even know who these people are. So the superstars are all sweet and disarming and give the autograph, and they run back to this person who paid them $20 to go up and lie and say they were their kid, just so they can turn around and sell that shit on eBay. It's heartless. So
yeah, dude. When we were in Vegas, when we were in the hotel, we ran into Ludwig and Stephanie. Omos was there, Grayson Waller, and I said hi to everyone. But I'm like, they're hanging out with their friends and their family. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
But they're working all weekend, you know. Like,
I was just like, hey, what's up? And they're like, hey, you know, and that was it. Like,
I mean, at most, the most I would do to be respectful is, you guys are awesome from a distance. I would try not to draw as much attention to them, and then I would ask, hey, could I get a picture? Like, is that okay? If not, that's fine. Like, but if they would, but you want to be respectful. Don't just like.
I chickened out.
It's the entire reason why Kevin Owens himself has full-blown said, hey, I'm done with this. Do not bum rush me in the airport. And if I'm in the hotel, don't bum rush me there either.
No, and it's fair. It's like, because as far as I'm concerned, it comes down to like, if I were ever to run into these people in the airport, I've always imagined that I would see them, notice them. If I were sat at the same terminal, I would just look over and go, and I would just like, you know, like mouth over to them, you're awesome. Or like, you're awesome. You're great. Thumbs up. Or I do like whatever their hand sign is, like yeet or an X, but I would purposefully like not draw attention to them. And I feel like they would respect me being quiet about it. They might respond and like, wave me like, what's up? Because they can probably tell that I'm trying to keep it quiet for their benefit. There's a respectful way to go about it, guys. But no one is trying to meet 15 fucking strangers at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and they said what's up to me, so I got that. You know, that memory. I don't need a fucking documented picture everything all the time.
In time. You know that it happened. It doesn't matter if you can prove it. It's like, no, I was there, bro. Like, you know, but it's all about respect, and that's the thing. You know, don't be following women to their rental cars. Don't be stalking these people out at grocery stores. Like Like I see people on TikTok who have this regular pages. Every time they run into John Cena, they film him coming out of coffee shop.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's like,
so
can
awkward.
the man just enjoy his hot beverage and you leave him the fuck alone? But he's so respectful. But there are times where he's like, he'll educate them. Hey, it's a respect thing. I appreciate it. But, and he'll just educate them like, it's about a personal space thing. Like I'm on my me time. I would appreciate if you understood that. And it's like, but they'll be like, I totally understand, John, while they continue to follow him. And it's like,
yeah, I've seen
John
some
is a better man than me, bro. I'd turn around and stick you in your shit. Because at that point, I'm calling it harassment.
I've seen a video of somebody walking up to Cena who was in like the outside portion of like a restaurant while he was with like a friend or something like that. Yeah. And he's just like, hey, can you do the thing for me? And he's like, hey,
while he's trying to eat.
Like, I get it. I get what you're trying to do. This is a respect thing. I'm with my friend right now.
Yeah.
It's if like, we catch up later, I'll do it then, but not right now.
That's the thing. People got to remember, these are human beings, guys. They're not puppets. Their careers are not party tricks for you to just be like, hey, do the thing for me. Like, who are you, bro? Like, am I your butler? What do you mean do the thing for you?
Yeah.
Like, no, how about this? How about you do this for me? Get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. And then the internet will attack. Well, they're so rude. It's like, you be me where the whole world knows your face. Bro, I can't even go out for a cup of coffee without strangers knowing what coffee shop I attended and then shoving cameras in my face at 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'd be a dick and I wouldn't. And guess what? You know what? I'd defend my dickish behavior.
Yeah,
that's how I know John Cena's a better man than me. I'd be mean as fuck.
I saw a pretty bad one too, where the guy just walks up to Cena already recording him. And he's like, oh, it's okay. I'm famous. And Cena was like, I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to mean something to me,
like,
bro?
I'm famous too, buddy. Like, and
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm more famous than you. Like,
he's like, oh, no, but he was so confident. He was like, it's okay, Cena. I'm famous.
It's okay, Cena. It's okay, Cena. Yeah. I promise you, I'm not trying to shove a camera in your face for clicks, whether you are or aren't consenting to being utilized on my profile. No, because the proper thing would have been is you walk up to him without the camera recording and the camera off, not with some camera ass glasses. So you can literally just go, hey, by the way, I'm a huge fan. I was wondering, I have a content thing. If you don't mind, could I get you on camera with me really quick just for my channel? If not, I completely understand and I respect it. But if so, would that be all right? I'll only take like 10 to 15 seconds of your time if that's okay. That's the respect thing. And odds are he's more likely to say yes to that second way you say it than just shoving a camera in his face because you were respectful off the start. You respected his boundaries. He gave you his consent and he was willing to play ball because you weren't a fucking dick, All
right, let's do this review. We got about 55 people in here now, so I think it's time to get started on the Snug Wrestling Raw review. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to another episode of the Snug Wrestling Podcast. My name is Edgar. I'm the host. Mr. Blood and Tommy are here with me, like always. Not a bad episode of Monday Night Raw, guys, if I'm being honest, right?
I'm going to confer. There are maybe two things tonight that I just was not gelling with, but this was honestly probably one of the better Raws of the last 2-3 months. Like, almost all of the in-ring work was extremely solid to amazing tonight. Crowd got better and better as the night went on. Couple of things we'll get into that I was not a fan of that I'm like, okay, this just ain't for me. But for the most part, how come the go home show last week couldn't be this good?
We had 5 matches too, which was crazy. It's usually 3 or 4, but we had 5 tonight.
Way more wrestling on this show. I enjoyed it. Really still pissed off at Netflix for putting ads in my shit because for the majority of this entire year, I was getting no ads at all for my Netflix stream. So I was even seeing all the stuff happening while they're on commercial break, wrestling in between the ads. And every fucking segment, every freaking entrance, I got ads with a countdown saying 1 of 5 ads, 1 of 7 ads. And I'm like, oh my God, bro.
Sheesh, smells like broke boy over here. No, I'm just kidding. I got ads too.
It was grating my patience, bro.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, extremely solid episode of Raw tonight. I was very happy with damn near almost all of the show.
Why couldn't WrestlePalooza be this fucking good? It's like WrestlePalooza is a fucking PLE. Why the hell was the Raw after WrestlePalooza better than WrestlePalooza?
There was times where I felt like they were just trying to make up for all that negative flashback they were getting after WrestlePalooza, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah, bro. It felt like because they were told. I mean, remember, ESPN dogged them. You know what I don't want when I sign a $1.625 billion deal
To
with
be
a new
called
partner?
average.
To be graded a C- for my show, the inaugural flagship event for your new direct-to-consumer app, and you grade me a C-.
Hey,
Fuck
but you know
you.
what? I'm glad
Andreas
they did it.
Dale, fuck you.
I'm glad they did it because maybe now WWE is going to step shit up. Maybe
the
that's
thing,
what they
though.
need.
That's what I said on the Blood Drop episode regarding this, where I spoke on it. It's nice to, it's kind of refreshing to see, like, even though I see it from WWE side, like, yo, man, what the fuck, we're partners. But at the other side, I see ESPN going, I don't care, we're a legitimate sports broadcasting company, we're not biased and sugarcoating shit. Like
That's
this
what
would
you get for
you can't make
having
us buy your
that's
you
what
can't
you
make
get
us
for
buy your rhetoric.
that's what you get for having Stephanie McMahon fucking tell everyone to get a VPN.
Bro, the amount of people who were having trouble just trying to stream that show. Oh my God. Even in the reports, people all over the world were having trouble. Login errors, it telling them that they couldn't see the show, it telling them when they had the show and they click on the show that it was busy or it wasn't working, or error codes. Like, Jesus Christ.
On the ESPN app?
Everybody who, like, apparently a vast majority of people who were trying to utilize and get into the app through the means that were confirmed to supposed to be working for them to use were having problems with their logins not working, error codes when they could get to the show, could see the show, then click on the show and it wouldn't work. People who already had the bundle then went to click on the show that was available for them to watch, and then it told them they had to upgrade to fucking watch it, even though they were already upgraded. Like, it was a shit show.
Yeah, man. It was we covered it all. We went over it. The review is on Apple and Spotify and YouTube and everywhere, so go check that out. But now that WrestlePalooza is done and out of the way, it's time to prepare for the road to Crown Jewel. And with this episode of Monday Night Raw being as good as it was, I'm kind of hyped for Crown Jewel now because we started off with Cody and Seth. We saw them have a little face-to-face stare down at the post show after WrestlePalooza, but I didn't really think too much of it until tonight. And then I realized, holy shit, this is going to be a dope-ass match. Let's see what these two guys do. If they do anything to really hype up this match, and I felt like they really did, because we had Cody and Seth start off Monday Night Raw. And Seth Rollins, he's still a little bitter after his loss at WrestlePalooza. So he has like this angry demeanor, he's just really pissed off. And that kind of translated into the promo that he did with Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes pretty much explained the history that these two have together. If you think about it, going back, Cody Rhodes, his big return was versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And, they had that big, I believe it was some type of cage match, or it was a Hell in a Cell when Cody wrestled with the broken pec.
Yeah, they did a trilogy, 3 pay-per-views in a row.
Yeah, so Cody reminds everyone of that. And, Cody Rhodes has beaten Seth Rollins all 3 times. Holy shit, But Seth Rollins kind of goes back to that character that he was talking about, where he wants to take everything over. He's the future of the company. The vision is the vision that he has for the future. He is the alpha. It's not Cody, it's Seth. And if, again, it goes back to when this world title was created, everyone was saying, oh, this is the secondary belt. Cody's the real champion. He's the undisputed champion. But now, you fast forward a couple years later, I don't know if that's really the case anymore, So it's very interesting stuff that we have here building up for Seth versus Cody, I thought. I'm pumped for this, guys. How'd you guys feel about this opening segment?
I thought this opening segment's exactly what Raw needed. Starting something off different after all these months of something regarding around the vision in its completion, it being about them, or even the show ending like about the vision. We had differences tonight. Things changed. It was refreshing. Having Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw. Stuff like this is where the brand split not mattering doesn't bother me because it feeds into the story. We thought after Mania earlier this year, when the vision was forming and Seth and them were trying to go after Cody and Sammy and all these guys over and over and over again, Jay and Sammy over and over again. Remember, at one point in time, Cody ran out for the fucking save out of nowhere and got in Seth's face. And they stared each other down for many, many moments in what was a very tense segment. And Seth backed down and got out of the ring. Because if you remember correctly, Seth did not expect, and he said it in a promo later that Friday Night SmackDown months ago, after that had happened, he did not expect Cody of all people to stand in his way. I was your shield, okay? Even Cody referenced that tonight. Cody put over all of Seth's, not only his accomplishments, but everything Seth meant to Cody's career, and not just career, his personal life. You know, these guys were very, very intertwined ever since WrestleMania when he returned. And it's kind of like, dude, like, yeah, I beat you 3 times, but we also fought with side by side in war games together. The night Punk returned, we tag teamed the night 1 of WrestleMania against The Rock and Roman together. We lost together. We fought together. We've won together. The night after that, you literally are the reason this title came home to my family for the first time in its history, because you were my shield. Remember, Seth was so giving that WrestleMania 40, tag team with Cody the first night and ate shit, lost on a busted knee that had been blown out for months. Remember, before that match, it had been blown out the entire time. He got surgery after. So he wrestled on a torn meniscus. Then the first match of night 2 loses his title to Drew because he was so beat up from the last match the previous night, and still went out there and used his body to distract Roman so Cody could win. These guys have a very serious relationship in their canonical history together. So this match going to Crown Jewel, even if they don't do promos to overbuild it, this is one of those times where it might not need a bunch of promos. There's so much history baked in here the last 3 years that I could just see these two wrestle and I'll be satisfied even without more promo exchanges between the two of them.
I love the fact that not only did Cody bring up the Crown Jewel ring, but as soon as he came out, as soon as Rollins came out, he's like, okay. You want to talk about the ring? All right. Let's talk about this. The watch you gave me, the Rolex you gave me at WrestleMania 40. Let's talk about that. I love the fact that he brought that up and asked the question, was it a legitimate gift or just a random thing being given to him? Because he is right. There are points where Cody will just talk shit about Rollins, and then there are a lot where he will gladly praise him up when it conveniences him, as Rollins says. But this whole thing, I am so hyped for this because it's true. These two have gone face to face 3 different times now. And I love Cody's ending on how he said this. See, he said, listen, we have gone one-on-one 3 times now. Will it be the same in 3 weeks? Will it actually be one-on-one? And here's another question for you. And he dug this in. How many times have you won?
0, right?
It's true, because he hasn't won any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Cody and Rollins have gone one-on-one, Cody has pulled out the win every time.
Don't forget, Cody beat him when he was still in the Shield and he was Stardust.
Yeah.
So Cody's pinned him even back in his worst gimmick. Cody has beaten Seth then.
Holy
And
shit.
Cody brought that up to Roman before their first match, saying, do you remember who the first team was to beat the Shield? The Rhodes. It was Dusty and Cody.
With that epic crossroads sold by Rollins, one of the best crossroads Cody ever hit, mind you. It was, and it's true. Cody has always had Seth's number. Always. So I wonder if during this match, is Seth going to prove that he can beat Cody without the bronze? Or is he going to get desperate and go, no, I have to get at least one over you by any means necessary? And he used the words, any means necessary. But I'm hoping Seth decides to do it on his own. But I do truly believe, Crown Jewel, I do think Seth's winning.
Yeah, he has to. That's my prediction too. Early, we'll do predictions later on. But speaking of, moving forward and new things coming now that WrestlePalooza is out of the way, one of the big questions that we had is, what's going to happen with the Usos? Are they even going to be an Uso team, or are Jay and Jimmy going to go off and do like their own thing? And it looks like they're going to go back to their solos thing, because we learned on this Monday Night Raw that Jimmy tried to get a rematch versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, but Jay Uso jumped the gun and decided to get a singles match versus LA Knight instead, which caused a little tension there between Jimmy and Jay. Jay seems like he's turning into like this, new version of Crash Out Jay, and Jimmy doesn't seem too happy about that. And it looks like these guys are just splitting up more and more, as the days progress. But what do you guys think about the news that, the match with LA Knight, how it was announced, and this whole thing that happened with the Usos backstage?
I was incredibly surprised that Jay was cleared to compete tonight, because he was under concussion protocol syndrome. And you could see he had stitches, like straight up stitches right down his forehead, man. I was worried about him the entire time. We'll get into the match later, but the entire time that he was working tonight, I was worried about him. Every headshot, every bump, even that DDT that he took at one point, I was like, oh my God, because at the end of the day, these are human beings, right? No matter how much you don't like the characters, or you do like the characters, you don't want to see anybody actually get hurt. And if you do, you're a piece of shit. But as far as it's concerned, I already said this on the WrestlePalooza review, that I do believe that they're not done tagging for now. I don't think Jimmy and Jay fully split until War Games. I think that's when they're done with each other. But notice how even tonight, and we'll get into the match with the entrance, Jay's not wearing any of his Yeet gear, and has been not wearing that Yeet gear for a couple of weeks. The darker and darker and darker down his path he's gone. He's still doing his entrance because it sells t-shirts.
And the glasses.
But no glasses.
No, he did.
Oh, he had Yeet glasses on tonight? Well,
Yeah.
no pants, no shirt, no armbands, nothing colorful, just black. But you know who he looked like while he was wrestling tonight in those black pants with no shirt? Roman.
Yeah, I honestly really like the way that this was announced. And I know we're not going to get to it, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. They're clearly not done with each other, knowing the fact that next week there will be a WrestlePalooza rematch as a tornado tag. Like, that's what we're getting next week, is Usos versus Braun in a tornado tag match.
That was announced already?
Yeah, that was announced later on in the show.
For Raw.
Yes.
So tornado tag match, for those of you who don't know, a tornado tag match essentially means but all four men are legal at the exact same time. Unless they announce no disqualification, there are still DQs. But that means that everybody's legal all at once. No tag-ins, no tag-outs.
Great.
Yeah, that match was in fact announced later on in the show. It was hinted at during this segment, but later on in the show, it was in fact announced that there would be a tornado tag match as a WrestlePalooza rematch.
So expect chaos. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead out on a limb here and assume that's the main event. So
Most likely.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows after the main event that we got tonight? I wouldn't put it past them, but speaking of chaos and tag team action, we had a 6-man no DQ match here. Unlike the matches at WrestlePalooza over the weekend, this match was insane because it was 6 guys just beating the crap out of each other with kendo sticks and all kinds of shit. It was madness. It was off the wall. And again, completely different energy, completely different feel of this Monday Night Raw compared to WrestlePalooza. And the finish of this match, man, I mean, we saw tables here, we saw all kinds of shit here, but the finish of this match was a Mexican destroyer by Penta from the top rope onto poor old Grayson Waller, man. That was a scary spot. It was well executed, but god damn it, man. I'm like, you can't pay me enough money to take a fucking Canadian destroyer from the top rope. What the fuck? But they did it. The War Raiders and Penta won this match. God damn, this was crazy though. It was insane. What'd you guys think?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't watch it. As far as it's concerned,
Why not?
Because first off, again, remember they've been fucking us on the start times. I thought the show started at 8 o'clock. So when it was 7:30 and I clicked on Netflix for my wife and I to eat dinner and watch half an episode of Suits, because I'm taking her through Suits for the first time, one of my favorite shows of all time, great legal drama. And I see that Raw's showing live on my selection screen. I go, what? I click on it. It said live event started at 7. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I click on it. It's 33 minutes into the show. It's in the middle of that tag match. And I go, So then I message you guys in the chat and go, hey, didn't know it started at 8. I'm half an hour behind you. And you guys said, all I really missed of importance is the opening segment. Because so I go back, I watch the opening segment, skip all the entrances, watch the segment, skip forward to the match. Went, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Fast forwarded because I'm so sick of this fucking feud.
Yeah.
Fast forwarded to the segment after it so I could get as close to the live time as possible. So I was like 6-7 minutes behind everything until like the JD McDonough Rusev match. And then I was finally on key once I skipped through the ads. Because here's a nice thing when you are on watching not live and you're catching up, you don't have ads. The moment I caught up to JD and Rusev, I had ads again. So I was like, didn't see it, didn't care, and I don't care that I missed it. I'm so done with it.
You didn't miss much, dude.
I mean, cool and crazy, great. Glad Grayson's neck is intact. The New Day has been giving me go away heat for a while, and I just could not be any less interested in anything that they're doing right now because they're not doing what they should be doing, which is building and putting Grayson Waller over. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a waste of my time on that.
One of my favorite moments of this match was Wade Barrett calling Xavier Woods Morning Woods because he's mourning. And then Joe Tessitore had to be like, that's what the you people, this is PG. I was like, oh, goddamn.
I am flabbergasted by that. But I mean, I don't want to hear him talking about some PG when I literally audibly heard Rhea Ripley in the main event shout, oh shit, when Asuka went to German suplexer. So, you know.
Yeah.
But
no, I was at first when I saw this match going into it, I'm like, oh my God, 6-man, no DQ. I'm like, whatever, right? But because of the show that we got over the weekend, it was kind of refreshing to see a little craziness, you know, after all. But yeah.
The biggest thing that I hate about this, like, I love the match. I will say time and time and time again that Grayson Waller is, in fact, the modern day Dolph Ziggler when it comes to selling. Prove me wrong on that beautiful Avalanche Mexican Destroyer just proved that.
I'm
when it
going to
comes to
prove you
selling.
wrong on that. He can sell, but if we're talking about Dolph Ziggler embodiments of selling,
JD McDonough.
JD
which we'll get
McDonough
into.
is probably top of that list next to Carmelo Hayes. So
Grayson Waller is he's good. He's
Yeah.
good.
And he's still good though.
And Rhea Ripley can sell like the best of them. But Grayson's great, but Dolph Ziggler great.
Yeah.
But I will say this, New Day has just been dragging down all the damn time, especially with Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods. You've done nothing but drag Grayson Waller and Kofi Kingston down. Go away. But notice the fact that as of recently, the only way they've been using the War Raiders is against the New Day and tagging with Penta. Use them more, damn it. Please. Just use the damn War Raiders. It's very clear that they are very, very good at what they do. They're a fantastic tag team. You can tell by the fact that they should not be able to move the way they do, but they move the way they do. But this whole thing, I'm like, use the War Raiders. Use your talent, damn it. You are underutilizing so many good talent because of the fact that you are randomly hiring new ones. Like, please use the talent you have, especially the War Raiders, because right now the Raw tag team division in general has just been going downhill and have been literally nothing. They have been doing nothing with the Raw tag team division and doing everything with SmackDown's tag team division. So please do something with your Raw tag team division, because as of recently, you haven't done shit.
JD and Finn are still the tag team champions, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I seen those two wrestle.
They've only been defending those titles too on Raw. I can't even think of the last time of a defense they had on a PLE. I legit can't. Yeah. But speaking of,
what?
That was me plugging you to go into the next thing.
I thought you were gonna say something else. All right. Moving on. We saw a lot of the Judgment Day on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Bayley wrestled Roxanne, and this is a new version of Bayley also, which I thought was refreshing because Bayley seemed to be really not just having fun out there, but the match was turned up a little bit more because this is a little bit crazier version of Bayley. And we kind of saw that in this match versus Roxanne because I like the pacing of this match. These two women were going at it. It was a pretty good match considering, the fact that it's Roxanne Perez and, not that there's anything wrong with Roxanne, but some of her matches lately just have not been the best, but she kind of turned it up big versus Bayley here tonight. I really enjoyed it. And then the extra stuff that happened with Lyra, and Bayley going crazy. 1 second she's nice to Lyra, then the next second she's mean to her. And I'm kind of enjoying this thing that they're doing with Bayley, if I'm being honest. But what did you guys think?
Loved the match. I think a lot of the reason Roxanne had a much better showing tonight is because of who she's in the ring with.
Mm-hmm.
This is Bayley we're talking about. One of probably, in my opinion, one of the most fan appreciated but most underappreciated and underrated wrestlers in her generation. Not just in the women's division or any women's division, but in her entire generation. She is, remember people, one of the 4 fucking horsewomen here. That means something in the world of professional wrestling. When it comes down to it, I like they told a couple stories in this match. The main story being that of Bayley's knee. Targeting the leg over and over again. It was fucking up some of her offense. They had a great back and forth, good technical bout. It's funny that we call Roxanne, she's nicknamed the Prodigy, right? Then you put her in the ring with someone like Bailey, and then you're like, that nickname don't fit you, honey, because you're getting circles wrestled around you right now. And Bailey's still taking it easy on you so you can stay in the same rhythm as her. This is one of the things I don't like about tonight. I said there are a couple things I don't like. I'm not a fan of this storyline with Bailey. I think this whole multiple personality, three faces of Foley-esque bullshit is not really something that works in 2025. I think it's a little too goofy for my tastes. Still can't stand Lyra's character. I feel like they ruined her earlier this year already, and they haven't bought any goodwill back toward me for her character. She can wrestle with the best of them, but I'm not sold on her character anymore. They've deflated that for me. And I think Bailey doing this whole multiple personalities thing, it's too hammy for me. It's a little too hammy for me. I get slight cringe vibes from it. And I hate saying that because I love watching Bailey work. I love watching her do her thing. I will say I like that energy she had after she won, where she was in that like dark heel mindset right after the pin, and she's like feeling the music and she's just kind of vibing with it like that. I like certain aspects of her charisma, but this character work of her, it's not her fault that it's not clicking with me. I just think it's written a little goofy. But other than that, match was tremendous.
Yeah, the match itself is great, but the problem here is Bailey. It's the whole three faces of Bailey shtick. I don't like it. I really don't. It's getting a little bit irritating at this point. It's getting cringy. I just do not like the three faces of Bailey shtick that we're getting, because I love the fact that Wade Barrett finally got his hug during the commercial break. So there's that. Man finally got that hug that he's been craving, apparently. But this whole thing, I'm like, why? Just why? I don't like the three faces of Bailey. It is so weird. It's so cringy. The fact that we did kind of see that, like, during match, I get it. Her switching in between, getting more into it, great. That was fucking awesome. I loved it. My problem is what happened after the match. Like, backstage, you're all huggy, all of that. Hey, I helped you during yours. I want you in my corner, this, that, and the other thing. And then all of a sudden, after the match, you just push her, shove her down, and scream the hell out of her. Like, I do not like the three faces of Bailey, and they seriously need to figure out what the hell they're doing with her, because this is not it.
Damn. I guess I'm the only one, huh? I don't know. I think Bailey can pull it off, man. Like Blood said, there's certain things about this thing that they're doing with Bailey that is actually pretty interesting. And I think Bailey is crazy enough to pull it off, I think. But we'll see. It seems like this is just the beginning. And I'm hopeful for this one. All right. Moving on to another match involving the Judgment Day. Talk about modern day version of Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, JD Madonna. And he proved it in this fucking match, man, because thanks to Dominic Mysterio, JD Madonna had to step in the ring versus Rusev. And oddly enough, this was a heel versus heel match, but the people were getting behind JD Madonna. JD Madonna, because he's a much smaller, more, athletic guy, the people just naturally got behind JD Madonna because he was getting his ass beat. Not for the most of the match. JD Madonna was actually fighting back, and he got a lot of offense on Rusev, surprisingly. I did not expect this match to go the way that it did. I thought JD Madonna was just gonna sell, get beat up and down that ring the entire match, get pinned or something. But nah, JD Madonna, they had a really competitive match, these two with Rusev. So one hell of a match, I thought. And we had some interesting stuff go down after this match as well. And again, looks like more tension is brewing between Finn Balor and Rusev, although it looks like Rusev might be, getting closer to Dominic Mysterio's Intercontinental Championship, I think this is just like kind of like a swerve. And I think it's going to be Finn Balor, the one that's going to be the one to get a shot at Dominic Mysterio. I don't know why I have that feeling, but what do you guys think about all this?
Real quick, this is not about this match. It's actually a thought I needed to finish from the Bailey Lyra thing that I needed to mention just for the soundbite. The reason I don't like it is I realized while watching it that this entire situation between the two of them is so solvable by Lyra just being like, hey, we record the entire show. Here's a clip of you backstage talking to me and asking me to help you. Here's the clip of you switching and reacting to me in the ring. Solved. Now Bailey knows she's freaking out like a crazy person and can stop blaming Lyra. Like, because the problem is so easily rectifiable, it's hard for me to buy into it, because common logic is like, what, Bailey, you don't watch your own show, the show back? You're on it. How am I supposed to believe that you don't know that you asked her for help, but the show's recorded? That's my problem. Skipping on to this match. Did not expect JD to get the amount of offense he did. And I do think the reason the crowd was really behind JD was, one, because they already know he's a fantastic wrestler, and because they love him for being so tough for that horrible near call that he had earlier this year where he banged his head. He banged his head on that damn announcer table from a moonsault, and he could have seriously hurt himself and or paralyzed himself. But I think it's also because they cheer JD so much because the Judgment Day is a truly over group and Rusev isn't over at all. So they're going to cheer JD because they just don't care about Rusev. It feeds back in the problem that they need to repackage Rusev already, because he's clearly not working. If anything, the only thing he serves purpose in the match is just, hey, you're someone for the smaller person or to conquer, or the babyface to conquer. But your real purpose in this match is they care about you so little, they're naturally going to love this other person more. And as far as it's concerned, I think that I do like a lot that we saw the hesitation from Dominic Mysterio to interfere and help distract the ref long enough for JD to maybe get out of the hold, or for Rusev to give up and take his attention off of Rusev. And then when you have Finn come out and, get him from behind with the reverse neck break elbow, was great. Got in Dom's face. Great. Only thing I'm thinking is, why are you setting up this dissension this hard right now, unless Liv might be coming back even earlier than we thought? That's the one thing I'm thinking about, because I'm thinking they would have held this shit together till December. Then we really see the cracks. Then Liv pops up at the Rumble. Nah, man, we're in September heading into October, and you're doing some serious heavy cracks now. So is Liv fast-tracked on that healing more than we thought she was? Is she going to surprise us here at some point, maybe Crown Jewel or somewhere else that we're not expecting? I don't know. But that's the only thing I can think why they would do this so early.
Yeah, it seems weird that they're doing all these cracks and all of that, especially this quick, this early, unless Liv has fast-tracked the healing and all of that to come back earlier. That's the only explanation that we can possibly think of right now. But I honestly thought that this match was going to end up being completely different. I thought this was going to be nothing but a squash match for Rusev. That way he could point over at Dom and say, hey, give me my title. Like, that's what I thought this was going to be. But it was not. Although, during commercial break, when Rusev was making his entrance, this was him. Give me my title! Give me my title! Like, that is exactly what it was. As he was walking down the ramp, as he was just going, give me my title! Like, stop it, Rusev. That is not going to make anybody care about you more than they already do, which is lackluster at best right now. So, yeah, this was mainly just to get people to cheer JD more than they already do. But with Rusev, this was mainly just a thing of, hey, Dom, I'm coming for you. You are next. I want that Intercontinental title. I have a feeling like we are going to get that at some point, probably Crown Jewel. I would not be surprised on that.
My thing is, if they gave JD some, because by the way, JD was in control of majority of this match. If JD could give Rusev that much trouble, but somehow Sheamus struggled all their bouts, one, that makes no sense to me if we're talking about the continuity of Rusev's capabilities in the ring. And two, it makes me wonder, well, Dom is a singles champion, a higher form of a champion than JD is. So if JD could give Rusev that much fucking grief in the ring and put him down several times, is Dominic Mysterio beating Rusev?
I don't think so. I mean, he would have to really fucking do a whole lot of cheating to do that, because the moment that Tommy was talking about at the beginning of the show, when all the stars are walking in the arena, you know, that shot that they
Yeah.
give Rusev, literally when
Was
LA,
bullying Dom in the back.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, what a way, dude. That's how you're gonna treat your double champion. He holds the main title in AAA. He's your Intercontinental Champion, and you're just gonna punk him like that. You're just gonna let Rusev punk him like that on TV in front of everyone? Way to make your fucking Intercontinental Champion, double champion, look like a little bitch.
Well,
I'm
keep
like,
in
this
mind,
is so dumb.
Dom is a pussy because he doesn't do anything without the Judgment Day's backup.
But
You know,
god
so
damn, they made him look like a fucking
I mean,
bitch tonight.
you saw him begging for help in their segments backstage. Like,
Yeah, but I
you
thought
know,
we were getting away from that. He defeated AJ Styles. He defeated Hijo del Vikingo.
yeah,
He's
but
a double
but keep in
champion.
mind, he only beat all of those people with help from El Grande Americano and from cheating in the ring. He never did it solely out of the goodness of his own skill. He did it because other people were there to back him up or cause a distraction.
At the end, but at first,
he is a pussy.
at the end, but at first, it was looking like in the first half of those matches, it looks like he
Well,
was
yeah,
starting to come
because
into his own and everything.
he's still intellectual as a heel. He understands how to continuously get one over, and he's a great wrestler. But at the end, when it comes down to desperation, he would rather win by cheating than win on his own skill, and he chooses to save the skill for later. But
It just looks
I
so
don't
fucking
want,
bad,
but
dude.
I think it's a horrible idea to put that title on Rusev, and I'm really hoping it's Jay. I'm hoping, like you, that it's Finn. But if he's dropping it at all, I'm hoping it's Finn, because you want people to really not give a fuck about the IC title, put it on Rusev.
Jesus. All right. We had a nice, this whole Monday Night Raw just felt completely different. It felt like a new chapter. It felt like a new beginning after WrestlePalooza. And the main event was not the Vision. It was not Jey Uso. It was not LA Knight, which is one of the things a lot of fans have been complaining about. For the past, I don't know how long, it's been the same people in the main event fighting each other all the time. But WWE decided to switch things up tonight by giving us Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Not a bad main event, I thought. The women saving the show, you know, fucking Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquera had a banger at WrestlePalooza. Asuka and Rhea Ripley had a banger in this main event of Monday Night Raw. And shit, it was one hell of a match, dude.
We
I
skipping LA and J.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. Let's do this main event, and then we'll go back to LA and J.
All right. Well, first and foremost, it's Rhea Ripley. So automatically, 90% of the fan base, whether horny male or horny women, are going to absolutely pop for it because she's in the ring. So everybody and their grandma's popping a heart on because Rhea's making her entrance. Off the bat, people care about the match. So either way you look at it, you care about the match. Then you get Asuka, whom, in my opinion, WWE fumbled her so hard 9 years ago when she was the most over thing in the women's roster. The no one's ready for Asuka. Like, what was it? Like over 300 days undefeated or some shit like that between NXT, the main roster. She at that point went into WrestleMania that year against Charlotte Flair, undefeated for the championship, won the Rumble that year. First Japanese-born woman to ever do that. Won the same year Shinsuke did, for first Japanese-born male. Had so much fanfare, and WWE ruined her over and over again, reset her over and over again. And they couldn't put the genie back in the bottle for people to believe how much of a threat she actually could be in that ring. And when you see her now, it's like people forget, like, guys, Asuka is a world champion main event caliber fucking wrestler. She is a threat to Rhea, legitimately. She's a threat to anybody in that roster because she's been doing this for so fucking long. She's also a queen of strong style. So she's no pushover here. She's extremely dangerous, great timing, insane technical wrestler, and just an insatiable brawler. So when you put her in someone in the ring with Ripley, who is predominantly a powerhouse and a technical wrestler, man, it's a match made in heaven. And boy, was this match made in heaven, bro. Great fucking main event. I mean, no notes. Everything was beautiful. Everything was timed great. Crowd gave it this is awesome chance, as it should have gotten. Deserved it. I don't think we've had a women's main event on Monday Night Raw since Io versus Rhea for the title before Mania with the surprise switch. I think it's the last time we had women main event Raw, which was, checks notes, March. So as far as it's concerned, this was great. After the match, then we get the full like bullshit of them misting Rhea and my girl Kyrie, whom I was a little miffed at because of the way that she was doing her worked punches, was taking away some of the seriousness of the segment of like her trying to fight the urge and sadly beating up Rhea. But then I realized, well, she's crying while she's doing it. So she's just hitting her through tears, like trying to satisfy Asuka's need for her to do her dirty work, but she doesn't want to do it. So she's not trying to hurt Rhea as hard as she can. She's just hitting her because Asuka's making her do it. And then you get Io comes out, and all of a sudden she's begging for mercy at Rhea's behest or Rhea's defense. And then all of a sudden, spinning back elbow just clocks Io. And then again, Asuka forces Kyrie, threatens her basically in Japanese, do it, beat her up. And then Kyrie again, caught in a rock and hard place, crying while she's having to hit her friend. They set her up for the insane elbow neck breaker. And man, I mean, it sucked. Rhea tried to rally once, got put back down. It was a great way to end the show with the heels on top, the baby faces in peril. It was a nice change of pace. And it put the women's division, in my opinion, for a story that's been hit and fucking miss for this story. It made me care now.
Oh yeah, that ending. Holy shit. Like that was my what the fuck moment. Because I honestly, as much as I loved the whole thing, I thought this was going to happen later than it did. I was not expecting this random turn tonight. I was expecting it to be like Crown Jewel or a different PLE, not a random episode of Monday Night Raw. But at this point, I would not be surprised if what it's leading up to is Io and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors. I would not be surprised on that. But when Io came out, you could tell before Kyrie jumped off the top, she didn't want to do it whatsoever. She was only doing it because Asuka was making her do it. She did not want to attack Io whatsoever. Like, especially with Io. When she first came out and Kyrie had to hit her and all of that, you could tell just looking at her, looking at the tears coming down and all of that, she did not want to hit Io Sky. She never did. She never wanted to betray her at all. But at the same time, she didn't want to go against Asuka. So it was a lose-lose situation with Kairi saying either way, unfortunately. And I hate the fact that Asuka put her in that situation and put her in the middle of it. Because it sucks to see that Kairi really did not want to attack Io, but she had no choice because of Asuka.
Kyrie Sane is fucking cringe, bro.
Kyrie is adorable. But here's the another thing I like that I think this story finally clicked with me on. Because we were missing an explanation as to so much for so long. And Kyrie is actually the one in the backstage segment who finally clarified why Io and why Kyrie herself are so dedicated to trying to please Asuka. Finally, Kyrie literally said she's the reason we're here. As in, she was the first major Japanese-born women's wrestler to make it in WWE. She's the one who opened that gate for, that to be a possibility for women like Io and for Kyrie. And because of that, they're there. So in Japanese culture, you don't step on the person who holds the door open for you ever. You're forever indebted to them. So in this case, they basically feel like they owe Asuka their career. That's why no matter how much she's been abusive to them, how controlling, they feel like they have to please her and obey her because she essentially is the person who paved their road for them. So we finally get that understanding weeks later, which we needed the ruling, because if it's me, this is America. If me, you, and Tommy are fucking American wrestlers and one of y'all's controlling me and I'm fucking Io caught in the middle of, let's say, Snug as Asuka's role and you're Kyrie, I'm about to bitch slap the both of you. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? By this point, pushing me around and screaming at me, telling me who I can and can't be fucking friends with. Like, fuck you, nigga. Like this, like as far as it's concerned. But in their culture, now that we fucking got it, I finally understood. It was not just a respect thing. They feel indebted to her career for everything she did for them. And that finally made me go, oh, okay, now I care because now it makes sense. There's an emotional stake in this beyond what we're just seeing.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. And when you say it, Mr. Blood, it sounds interesting, but I can't get into it, man, because of I'm not putting blame on like Io Sky and Kairi Sane because their English isn't that great. They're Japanese, which it's kind of hard to act in these segments in a believable way when their English is really limited and is just like, to me, everything that they're doing in these backstage segments and the storyline has just been so fucking cringe.
I completely understand why you feel that way because for Japanese people, emoting is much different than Americans would emote, where Americans would emote much more is reserved. Kyrie and Asuka over emote a lot. And this is one of the reasons, like, for the longest time, I wasn't a big fan of Io. It wasn't because her wrestling wasn't great. It's because her character work, her facial expressions to me always felt so over the top. And they still do. Like tonight when she's like pleading, she's like, oh, with her lip, like, please don't do. And the camera just lingers on her doing that all the time. These weird expressions. But as someone who watches Japanese television every day of my life regularly, I'm used to it. But I completely see why somebody would be like, they're fucking, that's cringe. They're like
it's
overacting.
Weird,
it feels like they're overacting. I completely understand where you're coming from because that was once me.
But, however, I am enjoying what they're doing with Asuka because now Asuka is a threat. Now she's a bad. Not saying she wasn't before, but like there's a time recently where they weren't really doing anything with Asuka. She came back after her big injury, and then they didn't really do anything that great with her that I can remember up until now. Now it seems like, all right, Asuka ain't fucking around. She's being taken serious. She had a dope match with Rhea Ripley. This whole thing, no matter how much I hate on it, how cringy it is to me, it's really making me care about Asuka, which I think is it's important in this storyline.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah. I think, and like that's what I was saying, Asuka, when I was praising her. It's like, dude, Asuka is that fucking good. And WWE, specifically Vince, fumbled her so long ago. She always deserved to be taken this serious and this credible of a threat. She's that good in the ring. You should be intimidated when you're standing across from her. You should be. And I think this story for me is just like you, is serving Asuka the best because it's genuinely showing and creating another monster heel, but now it's in the women's roster, someone that you have to overcome. And it's not just her you're going to have to overcome now. Kairi's there too, reluctantly or not, she's there. So I think this is eventually going to build to Kairi turning on Asuka and freeing herself. I think that's the story they're eventually going to tell. And I'm here for it. But yeah, man, I think that this is WWE finally going, hey, you know what? Asuka, we've had her with us for a long time. Why don't we start putting some respect back on this girl's name?
Yeah. And especially now we got a new women's world champion. We're going to need some new monster heels to go up against her.
Give me Asuka versus Stephanie yesterday. Because if Io and her had that barn burner, and fuck ESPN for that B+ rating. Fuck you. That shit was almost a 5-star classic. We're in for a treat. Just keep Nikki Bella away from it. I don't need to see that.
Oh God. Yeah, we saw her tonight in the backstage segment too, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. But we kind of skipped over LA Knight versus Jey Uso, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But we also heard from Stephanie Vaquera herself, and she's getting ready for her match at Crown Jewel, who she's going to be facing the winner of the triple threat match between Tiffany, Nia, and Jade Cargill. Just a quick prediction. Out of those three, who would you guys want to see face Stephanie Vaquera at Crown Jewel? I know, dude. Bro, I know.
So wait, my choices are rat poison, roach poison, or ant poison. Okay, because no stranger here. If he ain't no stranger to this show, I don't like Tiffany Stratton at all. And I haven't been a fan of her. I think she's a fucking one-note catchphrase who has been green as fucking baby shit since she hit the main roster, and she has not improved, and they barely give her a chance to improve because she's barely doing any fucking matches. And Jade Cargill, same exact boat. Both those girls need to take a tag team swing straight back to NXT together. So if you're asking me, put it on Nia, the one out of the three of them who literally improved the most out of the three of them in the last 3 years. They've been with the company.
I think that one would make more sense because Stephanie Vaquera is a super baby face.
Yes.
So I would like to see what she can do, what Stephanie can do versus someone like Nia.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'd be, I mean, I think, because as far as concerned with the Crown Jewel stuff, look, we said that we talked about this at some point last year where this shit is just basically trinkets, right? Their titles we're never going to fucking see again, except till next year. And they're like, Cody mentions the ring for the first time in a year. Okay. And it was a huge crowning moment last year. Okay. The title that they went through they carried and kept showing off. Remember, they were walking around in segments of the briefcase and showing the title off last year.
Yeah. Our homeboy, our guest, Danny Storm was the one that was carrying that thing around on Monday Night Raw.
Exactly. And it's like, y'all carried and showed the thing off for like 3-4 weeks. You got to put the title on them at the show. We never saw it again. So these matches are really just going to be about to me, this is like their version of bragging rights used to be. Who's better on what brand? To me, that's what it is. Which champion is better than the other champion? That's how I feel. Because as far as it's concerned, it's just like whoever wins still keeps their regular title. So I'm like, nigga, I lost. I'm still a champion.
Yeah, so Tommy, what do you think about this, Tommy?
I do agree that Nia is probably the best option here, but my gut is telling me that they're keeping it on Tiffany.
Fuck you and your gut.
All right, let's get back on track.
On Tiffany either. I really don't. If I'm being completely honest, I don't want it on any of them. If I'm being completely honest here, I
That's
don't
not
want
an option, Tommy.
any of those three at all. But my gut is telling me that they're keeping the title on Tiffany Stratton.
I have a feeling. I don't think so, man. I think it's time. I think the WWE knows it's time to move on from Tiffany Stratton. I don't think it's working anymore. And that's why they decided to go with the triple threat match to a way to kind of protect her as well. So, all right, let's get back on track here because I completely forgot about Jey Uso versus LA Knight. I'm just not used to having these many matches on the Monday Night Raw. I don't know what happened, but they had a match, and it was another good match. One hell of a match too. I've been a huge fan of what's been happening with Jey Uso and LA Knight, and I wasn't expecting Jey Uso to wrestle tonight, especially after his injury at WrestlePalooza a couple days ago. Um, and I wasn't expecting to see Jey Uso and LA Knight wrestle each other this soon, but I'm glad they did. It was a hell of a match, and fuck, dude, the way this match ended was pretty crazy. Jey Uso won, but it was mostly because of the Vision's distraction, their accidental assist that took place in this match. First of all, I was kind of confused why Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker would interfere in this match. If they have beef with both Jey Uso and LA Knight, if I'm the Vision, I'm going to be like, let them beat each other up. Like, fuck that. But no, instead, they interfered in this match and they attacked LA Knight first, which now it makes sense why they did that to do this finish. But they attack LA Knight first. Jey Uso takes advantage and beats LA Knight. And now LA Knight has even more reason to be pissed off at Jey, which is wonderful. It's always nice to add more fuel to an ongoing feud like this one. But I thought this was also really good, man. This fucking episode of Raw, most of the matches were on fucking point, and this was another match too.
Nah, I was genuinely happy with this match. Got this is awesome chance too. The way that Jey worked tonight, by the way, did you notice how much more aggressive a style it was and how much more aggressive that style complemented him as an actual performer? You know what I noticed? That a lot of people say Jay's too soft, Jay's too this, Jay's too that. It's only when he's wrestling like a baby face people think that. But they loved how he wrestled when he was doing the Uso Penitentiary stuff. They loved how he wrestled when he was still deep in the thickness of the bloodline. I think they just don't like Jey as a babyface. I think that's really what it is. But tonight, out the gate, I mean, LA couldn't even get his jacket off. He's hitting him with the punches. He's stomping on him. He's beating him down. He's getting some work in on my boy LA. And LA finally fired back. You know, I mean, again, every single hit slam to the ground that Jey took, back first or whatever, face first, I'm worried about the neck. I'm worried about the head because of the concussion protocol that he was on. But LA was very safe with him, but in a way that it was still like very direct in there.
Snug.
Yeah, cheap plug, unintentional.
Mhm.
But I genuinely thought it was a great match. And I'm so thankful it was the main event. We needed something fresh. I will say the interference also confused me. I was like, I'm trying to find a justification to this. You don't like either of these men, but you're only attacking one guy first and distracting him. Is that because you already know that Jey is descending away from you and that he won't help you beat, or he won't help you stop us from beating you up? So they're just dividing and conquering at this point. But what I found even more interesting is that even though Jimmy was going to go down there and put himself in a very, very difficult situation, Jey left his own brother to possibly get mauled. Now, they backed off with the steel chair in the situation, but what if they hadn't?
Mhm.
Jey was just going to walk away and let his brother walk into the lion's den, because basically LA's already down for the count. It would have been a 2-on-1 fucking assault, and Jey was going to leave his own brother to that. So makes you wonder, how far is Jey willing to go to be selfish? and remain selfish the way that he believes Roman told him to.
Mm-hmm.
It amazes me how downhill Jay has gone since WrestleMania after winning that world title. Because didn't this man beat the hell out of Gunther for almost killing his brother? If I'm correct here? Like, wasn't this entire thing for WrestleMania for the world title Jay going, hey, you beat the hell out of my brother. You made him bleed. The one thing you don't do is fuck with my brother. Now I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, that was his entire thing leading up to WrestleMania. And now he's over here just willingly leaving his brother all of a sudden. Like, the downhill this quickly between the two things. Holy crap. But this match, again, it was a great match. I did absolutely love it. It's Jay, it's LA Knight. These two are naturals in the ring. They are really big in the ring, all of that. They're great. Both of them are. This was a great match. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, well, we're shifting gears from WrestlePalooza to the next PLE, Crown Jewel. And I got to be honest, I'm pretty excited as this being like the first WWE program to build up Crown Jewel. I think it was a good way to start this build up for Crown Jewel with everything that went down tonight, man. I was really happy with this episode of Monday Night Raw, if I'm being for real. But with that being said, that was the Monday Night Raw review. Mr. Blood, could you do the honors, please?
Absolutely. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Snug Wrestling. Thanks for kicking it with us. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in as always. And don't forget, we are live every Monday and Friday night right after Raw and SmackDown go off the air on YouTube, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, and Facebook for live post-show reviews. And as a bonus for reaction content during the weekly WWE broadcasts on all of our socials. Then hang out with us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific on TikTok Live, where myself, Mr. Blood, and the leader of Snug Wrestling, Edgar, that handsome Mexican right over there, do our weekly one-on-ones where we dive into random wrestling topics and answer your fan questions live. So follow Snug Wrestling on all social media platforms, as well as on Apple and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And one time for the one times, that was 4 letters. One word.
Word.
Yeet.